Sit down and unwind as we delve into the latest Dracula film, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This unique adaptation transports us into the shoes of the ship's crew rather than merely recounting events from Bram Stoker's Dracula, particularly focusing on the captain's log. Interestingly, this section of the book is concise, yet it radiates allure, mystery, terror, and intrigue. We are briefly introduced to Captain Elliot, the first mate Vucek, a handful of crew members, and Clemens, a doctor who joins the crew due to the fear of what they are loading for their voyage. The cargo consists of various boxes adorned with a menacing black dragon, symbolizing evil and serving as a foreboding omen. The journey from Transylvania to London spans about a month, during which the crew maintains their daily routines but grows suspicious that something or someone else is on board, especially after all their livestock mysteriously perish, their necks bearing peculiar bite marks. Clemens initially attributes this to a possible case of rabies. However, as he investigates, he uncovers a woman concealed amidst a pile of dirt that spilled from a broken crate. Clemens tends to her malnourished condition, but as more crew members disappear without a trace, doubts begin to arise. Wait a minute, how can someone turn up missing? That's like simultaneously appearing and disappearing, which is impossible. You can't pull a David Copperfield here. As more crew members meet their demise, a mysterious woman, Anna, regains consciousness. She hails from Transylvania and is well acquainted with the evil entity they refer to as Dracula, displaying numerous bite marks on her body, evidence of being Dracula's source of sustenance during the voyage. Clemens, a man of science, finds all of this difficult to believe until one crew member falls victim to the vampire's attack. Viewers, being well versed in vampire lore, recognize the signs as the man awakens, displaying the classic white, glassy-eyed look of someone under vampiric control. They manage to subdue him and restrain him on the deck, only for him to burst into flames when the morning sun's rays touch the Demeter. Clearly, they are no longer dealing with scientific explanations, and the world takes on an eerie, inexplicable quality. Clemens and Anna embark on an investigation, searching for Dracula's hiding place, as he seems adept at playing hide-and-seek. Their search leads them to discover crate after crate filled with earth, with one crate containing a peculiar cane adorned with a wolf-like handle. All of this ties in with Dracula's lore and symbolism, as well as the reason why the ship is named the Demeter. A brief history lesson: in Greek mythology, Demeter is the goddess of harvest who uses soil to nurture vegetation. In the world of Dracula, the vampire needs to rest in the consecrated soil of his homeland, explaining why the ship carries crates filled solely with this special dirt. The mission of the ship DEMETER is to transport Dracula to London, a place with a higher population density than Transylvania, thus aligning with the idea of a plentiful harvest of victims. In London, Dracula will have a fresh pool of people to feed on and convert into vampires. The name, DEMETER, seems fitting for this ship and its deceptive nature. Meanwhile, the crew aboard the Demeter is confronted by a supernatural creature that brings death to them one by one. This ties into the tragic myth of Demeter, who lost her daughter to Hades, a god closely associated with death in the underworld. Symbolically, the crew represents Demetrius's daughter, while Dracula embodies Hades, relentlessly pursuing his desires. Both stories culminate in tragedy. As they grasp the true nature of their predicament, the crew devises a cunning plan reminiscent of Kevin McAllister, complete with a preparation montage. Their goal is to trap the creature on the sinking Demeter and escape in a lifeboat. However, their plan goes terribly wrong when they discover that Dracula can fly. They fly now. They fly now? They fly now. The man-bat eliminates most of the crew, leaving only Clemens and Anna to fight the beast. They manage to immobilize Dracula briefly using a piece of the Prometheus mask broken during the storm. Abandoning the ship, they watch as the Demeter crashes onto the shores of the English coast. Stranded off the coast, Clemens and Anna float on some debris from the Demeter, where Anna confesses that she had been in league with Dracula, serving as his familiar. She now fully embraces her fate as a vampire and perishes at sea, resembling a gruesome Viking funeral. In the final moments, a newspaper headline mentions the ghost ship and no survivors, hinting at Dracula's escape from the wrecked Demeter. Clemens, sitting in a bar, contemplates the world when he hears a familiar wooden thud. He spots a cloaked figure in the corner with a wolf-handled cane, identical to the one he found in a crate on the Demeter. He pursues the mysterious figure into a foggy alley, realizing that Dracula is alive and thriving in England, like an all-you-can-eat buffet. This doesn't necessarily imply a new Van Helsing movie, but it leaves room for a potential sequel centered around Clemens. Personally, the ending is satisfying enough. Now, comparing the movie to the novel is challenging due to the novel's vagueness. However, I appreciate how the film's ending mirrors the idea of Dracula escaping into the night with a wolf-handled cane, reminiscent of a dark dog-like wolf creature leaping from the wrecked dome onto the beach and disappearing into the darkness, much like in the novel.